Welcome, everybody, to the Less Than Yesterday show, an extra special show, After Hours. And before we get to that, don't forget we're powered by your friends over here at Treadmill Heroes, home of new and used exercise equipment for your home or your facility. And don't forget, we sell saunas, and do they feel good this time of year. I've got one in my garage. I've got the infrared, the hot one, no, not the wet one. Just the hot one.
Ooh.
And it's kind of nice. It's like a room within a room. I have it out in the garage, and it's like the only place I can escape from all the madness.
Your fortress of solitude.
Yeah. It's
Don't
like,
tell my husband about this because he's going to want one.
oh, dude.
Real bad.
It is so good because it's like a box in a box, and you just sit out in your garage. I even shut the light off in the garage, so it doesn't even seem like anyone's there.
Oh, boy.
And every once in a while, my wife's aunt will stop by the house. And I'll be sitting in this thing, and you don't wear a ton of clothes while you're in the sauna, right? But it's got a big glass door, but it's over in the corner. So like every once in a while, Aunt Liz will open up the overhead door with the keypad, and I'll just be sitting in there like
lurking,
hunched over with the towel on my lap, you know. So and it's like, oh hey, what's that?
Do you think that's really on accident?
I mean, I do it on purpose. I don't know if she shows up on accident or on purpose.
Do you make eye contact?
Yeah, sometimes. Or sometimes I'll just press up against the glass. I've got my friends here. Holly Garvin, Holly Pearl, but you'll always be Punky to me.
Always.
Always be Punky to me. And we got Jake Holkstra, my good pal Jake. We raised a lot of hell growing up. We should raise some hell as we are grown up now.
Yeah, we should.
Thanks for stopping in. It's been kind of a Monday from hell, right? I mean, back at it again. I mean, it's been just a fine Monday, but God, today just seemed like a grind. We had the fog and the weirdness and like back at it. You had a couple guys not make it in today, didn't you?
No, that was just our boot joke that we always make.
Okay.
Yeah. My guys all made it in today, but it was a grind. I mean, it's just one of those days that you just got to kind of, fight through it. And, like I say, sometimes it could be a real tough man competition out there today, boys. So it's just the way it goes.
I had a couple guys call in today. They were just a little sick, little seepy, mixed in with a little sprinkle of pissy.
Yeah.
And that's just enough to not make it in. And I get it. It's just it's a weird time of year. We're almost to Christmas, but we're not.
Yep.
Do you guys, Punky, do you feel Christmassy or do you not feel Christmassy?
I love Christmas, Joe. I do feel Christmassy. I actually had the best morning because I had a 2-hour late start in West Liberty for work and a 2-hour late start for my kids. So I started the day really nice, you guys. I'm sorry, that was really nice. All of my classes were shortened to about 40 minutes. They were pure heaven, actually.
You got to make pancakes this morning, it seems like.
Pretty much.
I went to the DOT this morning. So, yeah.
Oh.
Why?
Well, my son's... He just turned 16, so he's got to go from his learner's permit to his full-on, which didn't happen today because of a DOT situation. And, they're always so friendly and nice down there. And
we love the DOT.
So helpful, and there's no undertones of, pissiness or that they don't want me there or anything. It's always just sunshine and rainbows down there.
It is.
So.
You know what we need? We need a shocker right now. We need a shocker to get this thing going. We use this so the Treadmill Heroes, your friends at Treadmill Heroes had a company Christmas party kind of on Friday, and so we like to do the shocker at the company parties. And
are we talking about the same thing here?
We are absolutely talking about the same thing. Okay. Yes. So this is a game I've had for quite a few years. It's a race to press the button.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this thing on.
What happens if you're not first to press the button, Joe?
It's more so if you're last to press the button. If you're last to press the button, you're probably going to piss your pants because this whole panel, this whole thing that you grip is it's electrically charged, so it'll shock you. Okay?
It's only a little battery charging it, right?
It's only a little battery, but
like
here, we're going to put it on 3 players. Okay, so we got 3 players. So,
I was not aware of this.
Jake, you take this one. Punky's going to take this one.
Okay, you got that.
Okay, so here's how this works. I'm going to press this button.
Okay.
Okay. And then this light is going to flash red.
Okay.
And
in the middle, right there.
This middle piece.
Okay.
And as soon as it turns green, you have to hit the button. Now, if you hit the button prematurely, you get shocked. Okay? So you can't hit it until it turns green. Okay, and we'll do a tournament. We'll do an elimination here, okay? So are you guys ready? Dude, you got to be quick here, and it will shock you. Like it's not fun.
Is it like licking a battery shock?
It would be like if your hand licked 10 9-volt batteries, probably.
My hand's not licking
Your hand doesn't lick anything? Okay. Imagine if your hand had a little tongue growing out of the middle of it and it was licking 5 9-volt batteries. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Don't hit it early. Oh, who hit it early?
I did.
You hit it early? Yeah. Did it shock you, or are we out of juice?
No. It shocked me.
All right. We're gonna do Jake and I now.
It takes me back to Sugar Creek and the electric fence.
I almost touched it.
This is not fair.
Oh, he hit it early. He hit it early.
Premature.
All right, there you go. Yeah, you were a premature shocking.
I can still feel it.
Yeah, it's a tingle.
Yeah, it's a nice little tingle.
Oh, dude, it'll get you. Well, and in fairness, we put new batteries in before the company party, and there was a lot of shocking going on.
I have never played that before.
It's actually kind of fun. I bought that thing probably 10 years ago. And it's a fun little party favor, right? Whenever you're having people over at the house and you have that sitting there, inevitably someone's going to be like, what is that thing that looks like 4 dolphins coming out of the water?
Yeah. I did wonder.
And you tell them it's the shocker then.
Then I say it's the shocker. But it's fun with 4 people at one time. So then we all go in a separate room and we play, right?
Yeah.
You don't come out until you hear 3 knocks on the door. Time's up. All right, let's get serious.
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody going to buy a $30,000 lot where the elementary school used to be?
I'm glad you brought that up, Joe. I think they will.
Yeah?
I think they will.
You know what I think's going to happen? I think someone's going to buy them all.
And do what?
Maybe somebody will buy them all, yeah.
I think someone's going to buy them all. I think you're going to, because how many lots are there? 10?
13, I believe.
13 or it's either 11 or 13.
Yep.
So if there's 13 times 30 grand, 10 of them would be 300,000. So it'd be 390.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I bet you someone's going to go in and skin a check for the whole thing.
I may even have a line on a house that possibly could be being built there here pretty soon. So
do you want to give us just the tip here?
No.
Come on.
I can't give you the tip, Joe.
So in other words, you have insider intel that possibly a hole might be dug on one of those lots. Is it one lot or multiple lots?
I think the possible hole could be, or the possible lot could be 2 lots that's going to be used as one residence.
And then centered in the center?
Yeah.
That would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you think it's going to be, where would it be situated within the whole big lot?
I don't know that, Joe.
Smack dab in the middle.
I don't know, Joe.
But you've got good intel that maybe somebody might be popping on a lot or 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Are the lots one straight row?
I haven't really, I poured the curb up there, but I really didn't look at the layout.
I'm just curious what the layout is. What would be your ideal position? If it's like a little circle cul-de-sac in the center there, or is it going to be
No.
front
It's
and
a
back
straight, it's a
add-on?
front and back situation,
Okay.
I think.
I wish I had $1 million, billion, trillion, because what I would do is I would have bought all of them and I would have put like a cool little pond in the middle with a water feature, and I would have built like single family homes all around them, and then just made like a nice little compound right there.
Wilton could use some more housing. There's no 2 ways about it.
There's nowhere to
We're
build.
kind of behind the 8 ball there on that right now. I mean, I think we could definitely use some housing, especially if things kind of get going here before long.
Are we landlocked as far as cornfields go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is that separate phase. Like the end of my road is supposed to go into like the 3rd or 4th phase of the meadows.
Yep.
So the end of York, where I live, is supposed to go into another edition of the meadows. That's never gone out that far, though. And there's only one lot, that corner lot, that I would love to have in the meadows.
Yeah.
Why don't you get it?
Snyder won't sell it to me.
Who owns it? John Snyder?
No, Teague.
Teague Snyder.
I think it's Teague.
Did
It's
Pete-
one of the
Did
Snyders.
Pete own it maybe at one point? Or did somebody else own it at one point before that?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely need
approached them a
some.
couple
We
years
definitely
ago.
need some housing.
So do you think who's ever going to buy these first 2 lots, is that an end goal for them where they're going to build their home?
They're going to build their home. Yep.
Okay, this isn't an investment property.
Nope, this could be their home, I believe. So we'll see what happens, but I believe.
Well, if that deal comes through, then you can pretty much write off any thoughts of a big apartment complex going up.
Yeah.
Right? That'll be done deal on that.
Yep.
God, wouldn't it be neat to buy all of them and just all these like smaller homes all around there and like a little community
Little
in there.
village.
I mean, the price is right. I mean, $30,000, the price is right.
Right.
Well, I know you can't go to Coralville and buy a lot for $30,000. You can't go to Bettendorf, Davenport, anywhere to buy.
Pondview, I mean,
No,
anywhere really.
anywhere.
What's a lot
Well,
cost
I
out
thought-
at Pondview?
I don't think there's any left at
There's
Pondview.
none left.
That one just sold.
Yep, there was one that just sold.
Like recently.
Just the lot, just the
Yeah.
dirt.
Yep.
Do you know what it went for?
I think they were asking 100. I don't know what it went for.
For the dirt.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
it
so-
went for like 80-ish. Is what I heard, but I don't know for sure.
And what's going to take place where the pool used to be? Who owns that? Does the city own that?
City
Or does the
owns it.
school own it?
The city owns it all. Yep. The school has never owned any of that. No, they were just in a partnership with the city on that.
To like run it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll tell you what we have to bring back. And here I am signing myself up for shit that I
pond?
don't want to do.
That
No,
pond?
I'll tell you what we need to bring back is when we were kids, that little band shell building. It's not a band shell, but it's that building in City Park where the pool used to be, right off to the right. It's a little like it's just a little building. It's
They
like
have a fireplace inside.
yeah, they have a
Yeah,
fireplace
they do.
inside.
It's a really
It
nice
is. It's
building.
super
There's a wood burning fireplace in
There
there, and
is.
when we were kids, all the Fine Arts Guild used to
Yes.
dress up in spooky Halloween costumes, and they would read scary
They
stories
do.
in front of. Do they still do
Well,
it?
I
I
don't
just did
know.
it a few years ago, Joe.
So,
Actually, like 3 years ago, I read a story
Corey
over
Freeman did it like probably 5 years ago and scared the shit out of my kid.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of my kids, and we had to leave.
I would
He felt
love
so
to
bad,
do
but he
that.
was
I
really
did it
good.
the same time.
It was-
I did it the same time
Okay.
Corey did. I was
it just my kids were smaller?
You know, Mom was kind of the one that did it.
Yeah.
Because it was
It's
the
really
Connie
cool.
Hoekstras, the Lenore Braemeyers. There was a ton of people involved. I'm sorry if like I'm not thinking of everyone, but wasn't it the Fine Arts?
It was the Fine Arts Guild that did it. Yep.
It's really neat.
God, that was insane.
It was. It was
and
great.
the line of kids was all the way down. Like you couldn't get it. Like you had to turn kids away, right? Because like I think they did it in different age groups where you kind of had like.
Yeah.
You know, Johnny the Happy
I think
Pumpkin,
they
you know,
picked
for the
like
little
a
kids.
book too that they kind of read the stories out of. I think it was like scary stories to tell in the dark or something
They
like that.
yes, they told those stories.
Pretty bad. I mean, pretty rough stories.
Scary stories.
Yeah, I remember Corey. Well, we left, and then Corey felt so bad. But it wasn't, in his defense, he did a great job. It wasn't him. My kids were probably just a little too young for it. We got to look, you get a little excited when your kids are like, yes, let's go do all the fun things. And then you're like, ooh, this might be a little too intense.
Who runs that now?
The what?
The
Fine Arts-
event. Who runs the storytelling?
There is no event now. I mean, the Fine Arts Guild did do that, but they have not done it since then. So, and we had, we kind of were doing a fall festival up there at the park.
Yeah, that was really good
Yeah,
too.
and we had a chili cook-off up there and
Carissa
some other
kinda
things. And
took
Chris,
care of that.
Carissa did that.
She
Yep.
did a really good job with that.
Yep. So it was, we had a trunk or treat up there. Then we
Mm-hmm.
had a chili cook-off and some store. I mean, it was kind of a whole deal up there at the park. Yep.
Wouldn't it be something if we could put all the pieces back together? I'm going to kick myself for this come October because I'm going to be like, why did I open up my mouth? But wouldn't it be neat to take the trunk or treat that's downtown, then combine that with a Halloween parade where all the cute kids and all their cute costumes walk up to City Park, and that's the parade route.
Yep.
And then you get up to City Park, you have all these different fire pits set up around right there in the park, and then you go into the building where they got the fireplace going, and you do Scary Story Hour.
Yep.
You bring in the little kids first, and then the older kids. Mm-hmm. I think that would be freaking magical.
They had a
It'd be
parade. They
super
had a
fun.
costume parade that time
They
too.
did.
Yep, they did do that.
And a few years ago, they did it as well. Like right after COVID, it was downtown by the Candy Kitchen.
Yep.
They did like a pumpkin carving contest, and like the kids. because, it was or during COVID, maybe actually, where you couldn't really go inside places. So people really weren't wanting to trick or treat yet. And so they had kids that kind of parade around the block and did a trunk or treat and things like that. It was cute.
Do you guys remember the Halloween parade when we were kids?
At the school?
Well, it was like, I swear it went right in front of City Park.
I don't remember
right in front of the pool.
Being at the school.
At school, yeah. I remember that too, but I don't remember by City Park.
Yeah, I dressed up as, remember the musical Cats one year?
I don't remember the musical. I do know what you're talking about.
It was a rough year for Jay Kochster because, I watched the musical. And my mom's like, you should dress up as this cat.
It'd be dope.
It'd be sweet.
What year was this? Was this 2 years ago?
Fifth or sixth grade. Explain to my friends why I was this cool cat.
Yeah.
It didn't go
like
quite as I thought. There was not a leotard, but there was some makeup involved. My mom, you do.
It's cute now. At the time,
but let me tell you, explaining to Adam Stahl and Jeremiah Maurer and Brandon Grunder that, hey, this cat is pretty cool.
He's vicious.
He's in this play.
He's not to be trifled with.
You guys should be cats too.
Is rough.
Yeah.
So it was a rough year for Jay Kochster, that parade. So
we have a picture during the parade in front of the City Park. Laura was Little Bo Peep and I was the sheep, and all Mom did was she took I believe it was like a full onesie of something and glued like a million cotton balls to it, and I was just the sheep.
Yeah.
In that, which was kind of fun.
Was Katie born then? Or were you guys little enough that?
I think Katie, she was probably stroller-ish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotta imagine, because I gotta believe we were probably 6 or 7, so that would have put Katie at 2 or 3. Yeah. So
okay. That's cute.
And it was different when the grade school was separate, right? I mean, not that it's not now, but it was just different then. It was 2 separate schools.
Yeah.
Right.
So, have you guys been catching any of these interviews I've been doing with the high schoolers up at the school there?
Yeah.
It's been fun, but it's an interesting dynamic because I want to get to know them, and it's been great. I want to keep it rolling, but to not have it turn into a back when I was your age kind of show, right? Because I've been thinking about this. Nobody gives a damn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
The people that are my age, they don't give a damn what it was like back then because we lived through it. Yeah, it's I know, I remember. And the kids that are this age are kind of yeah, I know, but we don't give a damn because
don't you think that's how we were at that age too, though?
I think so.
I mean, we're getting older, so we're doing the back in our day thing, but I don't think we were super open to listening to those ideas either. You're just kind of it's just somebody else old.
Was the gap as big though back then? I mean, was the gap as big between us and high school kids then, or is it bigger now? You know what I mean? Were we that much different then? I mean, I'm 44 years old.
The world's a lot different now, though.
I feel I don't know if we were as much different now as these kids are from us now. I don't know.
I feel I think that we're more different though.
Oh, I feel we're more different too.
Because they have a lot of different things at their fingertips that we didn't have until we were out of school, which is a good thing.
Isn't it wild to think of? We were effectively the last generation to grow up without internet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were it.
Yeah.
Because 2000 hit, and that's when everything was just catching up, and everyone was spooked out by the internet and all the because everyone was starting to understand what it was, right? The kids nowadays, I'll give you this example. I had Amber Oin and Kirsten Zeiser in here the other day, and we did the Delve deck, which we'll do here in a little bit. We did the Delve deck, and Amber drew a card that says name I think it was a world event. Something that impacted you, that something that happened that was a big deal, that the first one you can remember. And I'm sitting here going through the Rolodex in my head of all the things, and she goes, "Oh, that's easy. It's COVID." And I was like, "COVID, your answer?" But that was 3-4 years ago, so she would have been 13, 14.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a big deal. But like for me, well, I'm not going to say what I thought of. What would you think of initially?
Initially, I think of 9/11. That's my first initial thought.
The space shuttle when I was a kid.
Oh.
When the teacher went up in the space shuttle and it blew up.
Yeah.
That
supposedly.
We
supposedly at the time, yes.
We watched it at school. You know, I mean, it was like, I remember like all the lights off in the room and us watching it on a TV at school, and it was a big deal, and it blew up.
Bang. They rolled in the TVs on the cart.
I don't remember watching it at school though. What grade do you think you were in?
I think you would have been in second or third.
Yeah, so you guys probably.
I remember talking about it at home, but I don't remember. I remember I had a book about the teacher.
Man, we had some wild stuff. And you know what? Like, do kids dissect animals now?
Yes.
They do?
They do. They did a squid in 4th grade. You do a squid is your first one that I know of.
Seems pretty tame.
Yes.
Seems pretty tame.
There's no bones.
But they're like super excited for the ink sac, because if they get the ink sac, they get to write their names with the ink.
Do you remember the rat in biology?
I do. We did a frog. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do a frog.
We had a rat. In a vacuum sealed
and that's
bag.
Essentially what they
I could still remember the smell of when they opened that bad boy up with the frog. I mean, it was like that formaldehyde and just the heavy.
Because
Mr. Frisch.
You christened the junior high building in 8th grade. We christened it in 7th grade, but we christened it together.
Yep.
And you had Frisch, and we had
Mr. Frisch.
You had Frisch.
Yeah, but who else? We had the short redheaded lady.
Welter.
Welter. But
yeah, she didn't play around.
She didn't like Jacob.
She didn't like Joe either.
I had her at MCC too for MCC bio.
You know, on the rat dissection day, I got sent to the hall within the first 5 minutes.
I can imagine.
Because
what did you do?
Well, so they give you all the cutting tools, and then they give you this rat in a Ziploc bag, and I cut open the bag, and within 5 minutes, I had snipped the rat's tail off, cut a little hole in the bottom of its belly, stuck the tail in it, so it looked like it was well endowed. It was a well endowed dead rat, and Welter walked by just sent me the hallway, and that was it. I didn't even get to cut the head off. I didn't get to do anything.
She didn't play any games. Yeah, she was a pretty serious teacher.
Yeah.
That was it.
I liked her, though.
I dissected a rat tail, period.
She probably liked you too, Holly, but I don't know if she was really a fan.
I liked biology, though, so that's probably why.
I liked Frisch. I liked Mr. Frisch. He was a good teacher.
He was a good teacher.
I owe a lot to Mr. Frisch with the whole, the hunter's education that he did for us. That was
safety.
That was a big deal.
We're probably one of the last classes that did that as well.
We might be.
Because then...
That's right.
Do you remember doing that?
It was like, hey, high schoolers, it's time to learn how to shoot a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody, and you got the little orange folder thing with your card in it. And when you graduated,
we went over to West Liberty.
To a range.
Yeah, West Liberty.
Right. So when my husband, I assumed that every school did this. West Liberty did not do this. He just had to get his when he wanted to go hunting with my dad years ago. He never had his. I'm like, didn't you take this in junior high as part of your science class?
It was a big deal. I mean, really, I would like to know how many people's lives he affected with that. That was pretty cool.
Well, it taught you basic safety as well. I mean, there's a lot to be
and a lot of parents
taught.
didn't hunt. My parents didn't hunt, but this was a hurdle that I'd never had to overcome because he took care of it, I guess. So
the hunting for the Braymeyer family involved
mushrooms.
Well, mushrooms, but that or Joe and Doug would go out to Steve Kaufman's house just north of town, and Dad would kick a brush pile after a fresh snow, and then the rabbits would run out, and I would shoot at them and hopefully not shoot Dad while the rabbits ran out. And then we would go to the station and we would clean the rabbits and eat the rabbits.
I have never cleaned an animal. I don't think I could do it.
I wish I had one right now.
It's something everybody should know how to do. I feel like,
My nephews could skin. I mean, they're younger than my kids, and they have been able to skin animals for a very long time.
You don't even need a knife to skin a rabbit.
You don't.
You literally, and this is going to sound graphic, but you just twist its head off, and then right in the middle of its back, you can dig your finger under the skin and just pull it apart, and that's it. I mean, you want to take the guts out too, but you can skin a rabbit with your finger. Have you ever done that? I'm sure you have. Yeah.
No idea. That is news. I did not know that.
Merry Christmas to all.
I mean, if I'm ever stuck in the woods, I can hope maybe kill a rabbit and not starve to death.
Do you guys think we're going to see any drones over Wilton? Any big ones? Are you guys following this? Am I the only kook?
I am following it. I am following it.
So I told you I don't go on TikTok or anything.
Well, it's on the news right now.
It is. I did hear
New Jersey, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't really followed it that much.
Are you a TikTok guy? I was going to call you this weekend and just see if I was the only kook watching all this.
I'm not a TikTok guy, but I've been following it on the news. I'm not. I mean, not Instagram a whole lot or TikTok, but but I've been following it on the news, and it's
weird.
There's some stuff. I'm a Joe Rogan guy, and I can't wait till he picks it up.
Yeah. So is my husband. He loves him.
Yeah. What's your take on it?
Well, I don't
Come on, get a little kooky. Get a little kooky. Like you're watching it, Holly. What do you think it's all? They've spotted over 3,000 drones over New Jersey. But it's not just the drones, it's also the orbs.
Yeah.
And then so it opens up a whole kind of conversation. Is this a science thing? Is it a biblical thing? Is it just a diversion? Is it a red herring? What is all of this?
It's probably a diversion.
The only reason why I believe it's a diversion is we're watching it on the mainstream media.
Versus, yeah. And
I think the mainstream media has to get the nod to be able to start.
Hey, this is legit. We can show this.
Yeah. It's like, okay, guys, go ahead. We would love it if you started talking about these drones.
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like, well, I'm going to quit looking directly at the drones.
I mean, everybody with a drone in New Jersey right now is putting that bad boy in the air, right? I mean,
and why haven't we seen any footage? Why haven't we seen a single video of Jake Hoekstra with his drone in his backyard going, and we see the footage of it flying right toward it, and then if the feed gets cut or the drone crashes, why hasn't anybody stuck their phone on a live feed just like this, or you can go live with a drone.
Oh yeah,
and flown up. Why not? All I know is I don't want them over the beautiful cornfields of Wilton, Iowa.
Ted Maroff. I mean, he's the drone man around here.
And then there's another guy from town who's got a drone. He's always posting videos like on the What's Going On in Wilton page, which is just a fun playground to roll around in, by the way.
That is. I joined it just for the...
We'll talk about that in a second. But there's a guy that's always posting like drone footage around Wilton. Have you seen that, Casey? Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
And it's really fun to watch.
It's really cool. It is pretty neat to watch. I don't know the guy's name either. But it is. I like when Ted would do it too. I mean, it's really neat to watch that kind of stuff. You know, to see our town from, whatever, 600 feet, 1,000 feet, whatever.
Casey, will you grab my phone? Let's read the latest post on the Wilton chat. I love the Wilton chat.
I joined it just to get some giggles.
By the way, while I'm looking this up, we were on the news last night.
Wilton or you?
Joe and Winston and Charlotte were on the news last night. And
really?
Isn't it funny? I think there's more people that watch this than they watch the 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock KWQC.
There was more people that watch the Joe show probably than the...
Perhaps. Yeah. I'd like to think so. The older I get, the better I was, right?
Yeah.
But, so the Bettendorf ice rink.
Oh, yeah, it opened yesterday.
And
it looks so nice.
It was... Oh, my... broken ass chairs. Look at this chair. Hold on, let me show you this. I've been sitting on this chair. I busted this butt pad like a year ago, and I refuse to get rid of this chair because it sits up just high enough to where I can sit at this table. I don't feel all low, but anyway.
Perfect.
So we're at the Bettendorf skating rink yesterday.
Landing, right?
The landing.
The landing,
yeah, and it's nice. They built like a lodge where you can go in and buy like a beer or hot chocolate or whatever. And the news people started showing up with their tripods. And so I made about 2 laps, and there was this one gal from Channel 6. She was just shooting like B-roll. I was like, hey, if you want a bitchin' video or an interview, I'll give it to you. And I said, just flag me down. So I came around again, and she flagged me down, and it's so funny. You got to watch. I'll post it. I'll post it right now.
I can imagine.
Okay, that's for the real. I'll post it now. Anyway, and it was so goofy. My wife gave me so much hell for it because I'm like,
I'm so glad.
She's like, so what do you think about the new ice rink, right? And I'm just thinking, this is so goofy. And I go, you know what? We've just been so caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holidays that we just thought we'd take a little TO and come over here and we would just take a little holiday breather and it's just so wonderful. Isn't this awesome, children? And they're like, yeah.
Best dad ever.
And it was on the news and Lynn was like, you're an idiot. Like she's like, because she knows I'm being a goofball. She's like, come on. But I felt bad because our son, he was so excited to be on the news, right? And so he's standing like right here in front of me, and like we're up to the guardrail, and she's on the outside recording it. Charlotte's next to me, and she's plenty tall at this point. And so when they show it, the little banner at the bottom of the video like cuts when, so you can just see his eyes, like you just see a pair of eyes like poking over the banner that says Joe Braemeier on it.
Aww, poor
and
kiddo.
And Charlotte she just was like, and he was so defeated. I'll show it. And he's like watching it from the top of the steps that go up to the upstairs, and he just buries his head. He's like, can you believe that?
Poor kid.
Yeah, no kidding. He needs a redo.
But anyway, we were on the news. Isn't that funny how even in today's day and age where the news, like it's still kind of a big deal to be on the news. We can live stream right here and do whatever, but it's a big deal to be on the news. All right, Wilton, Iowa community chat. Oh, let's see here. Let me find something that's kind of fun. That's a little lighthearted.
You said first one on here, Joe.
Well, you know what? The first one is the food pantry opens Tuesday, December 17th from 9, and then it's 6.
It's great for that, too.
You know what? It is. So I'll read this.
It's a good place to find things out that are going on. Posted
2 minutes ago by Susan Neipert Norton. Food pantry opens Tuesday, December 17th from 9 to 11 and 6 to 7. Tuesday, December 6th from 9 to 11. In the morning. And then 6 to 7 p.m. 408 Cedar Street, Wilton, serving Wilton and Durant School District. So does that mean it's anything you donate goes up to the school or just serves the whole town?
I think if you're in the Wilton or Durant School District, you can take advantage of this.
Yes. This school does have a separate one.
They do?
Well, yeah. That you can donate to. And they are very good. When I would sub there primarily, they were very good about knowing which kids and families were in need, and they would be very discreet. They would place food bags in children's lockers.
Yeah.
Enough to get them through the weekend. Things like that. There's a lot more families in need that I was truly not aware.
It is kind of sad, because I'll drive downtown, heading to the office down there by the Candy Kitchen, and I think it's on Tuesdays. You'll see people that are lined up waiting to do a pickup, and I sometimes think to myself, I'm like, gosh, it's got to be so hard to just go there, and then you got to like kind of stand out in the sidewalk. Like, I wish there was like a better staging area where you could go in, sit down, have a cup of coffee, kind of grab your bags of stuff and go. But I don't know how you do that because the food pantry's right there. They don't have the space.
No, they don't.
And you don't want to be walking stuff across the street to like the Masonic Lodge.
No.
So it's easier just to grab and go.
Yeah.
Like, it's too bad there's not even like a way you could work in like the alley with like a drive up kind of thing.
I think they offer, and I could be wrong. I don't know if it's them or maybe the school. They offer delivery.
Do they really?
So I'm not 100% sure. It's one of the two, and maybe both.
I had an idea for a business in Wilton. Do you want to hear it?
Yep.
Always.
Okay. And this reminded me of that. I got to think if I'm actually going to do this, though. You know what? I'm going to give this one away for free. Okay. I'm going to give this business idea away for free because deep down, I know I'm not going to do it. Okay. Here's what we do. We call this business Bus Ted. Okay. You get one of those 8-seater golf carts, or at minimum a 6-seater.
Okay. Yep.
So you got you can have
rows.
2 or 3 in the front. You got you need the longer one where it's like
limo.
2 and 2 and then the seat on the back.
To be honest, that's my dream golf cart sitch.
Yeah, it's a nice.
I really want one of those.
You're gonna to
a
get
nice
a
deal.
decent used one. You're gonna spend $7,000 to $8,000 to get a decent used one.
Yeah,
okay?
bottom dollar.
And you know what? Call it $10,000 by the time you got the sides on it and everything else. So you could have a little heater.
Okay.
Yeah, you should close it in. I've already talked to the city, and I ran this by them, and you could make this happen. You say, don't get busted, call Bus Ted, and you have someone who owns one of those little limo golf carts, and they have a route that goes down by the junction, the mill.
Axe and Oak.
You got Axe and Oak, you got Froze. And then what you do is you have like designated drop-off points, one up by Westview, one up Mauer Street somewhere, and maybe one on the south end. And this golf cart just makes a round, and it's like once every hour they pull up in front of the Axe and Oak, and for $10 you can get a ride home. Leave your damn car downtown. Nothing. It's ain't gonna hurt nothing till the morning. Right? Or maybe for a premium,
They drop you off at your house.
Bus Ted has a co-pilot that can drive your car home for you.
Ooh.
Which I would pay extra for that, just to wake up with the car in the driveway and not have to do like the walk of shame downtown. But the whole thing is like, don't get busted, call Bus Ted. The cops would be behind it. Now, the police did say ideally you get like a side-by-side, like a Kawasaki Mule or something like that.
Well, because you would need lights.
Yeah, and you
turn signals and all of that.
But I got to imagine for let's call it a $9,000 investment, somebody could build a nice little cash operation.
An empire.
A little empire, if you will, of driving people around. And you know what? In the downtime, I got to tell you, if I can call Bus Ted and have them pick up some cheese balls and a bacon cheeseburger from the mill, or I can have something brought up from the cafe or out at Erasimo's, I gotta believe that would be like a lucrative thing.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And you could scale this. You could do this in Iowa. I mean, the sky's the limit, buddy.
I think the land jets are another game changer, right? Is that what's called, land jet? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's like the tall the black American picker van.
Like where you can go from like Port to Iowa City for tailgating or whatever. It's like $200 a person. They drive you.
It's
there
well worth it.
It is well worth it.
And they have TVs in there. Some of them have a bathroom in there.
Yep.
Like it's a nice deal.
Mm-hmm. But like your idea would be almost ideal for like some 16-year-olds wanting to make some side money.
Yeah.
And their parents are the owners of the business.
I know my 16-year-old pretty well. I don't know if I want him
crazy?
picking up.
I actually think this is an adult thing. Like this is something where if you have somebody that's just wanting that loves the little 5-minute conversations with people, that's wanting to make some extra cash, I gotta believe this could be a lucrative business model.
Although I don't really want to make small talk for 5 minutes. I just want to go home.
Some people, yes, but
but after Punky's had 37 beers down at the bar, you're telling me you can't carry on a conversation for 5 minutes?
If I had 37 beers,
you'll be like, can't. They won't get you off the golf cart.
Or somebody,
you know,
make another loop.
They'll be like, can I just ride for another one? Like, Holly, we've driven by your house 3 times. It's time to go.
Get out. Yep.
There's money to be made there. And you know what else? Speaking of drones, if some kid from Wilton had just a basic drone, that could shoot video. You know how many farmers would love to pay $250 to get a nice aerial video of their farm, of their property?
It used to be. I remember my grandparents had an
aerial. My grandparents did too.
Of their farm.
They would take a picture of your farm and then they would contact you like, hey, do you want to buy this picture? Yep. And everybody was like, yeah.
Everyone has one of those. Like, to me, like if I had a farm and some kid came to me and said, hey, here's what we'll do. You get your family right out in front of the house. You give me a big smile and a wave right at the drone on the ground. I'll take it up, you wave away, and then I'll if I'll fly around the property and I'll throw together a 60-second little highlight video for you, plus pictures, complete package, $300. I'll have it done in an hour. Why wouldn't you? Like, I gotta believe someone would pay to have that done.
These were not including people usually. Like, it wasn't like your family was out.
No,
on
it was just a picture of the farm.
Farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why isn't anybody doing that?
You know, Joe, I don't know.
It's a good
I feel
idea.
like you're giving away all your ideas.
Yeah, you
right
better.
now.
You better.
These are little
You're
marbles
spitballing.
that are
You're
rolling
spitballing.
around that I think are good ideas that I'm never gonna do. I'm never gonna do it.
Might though.
Yeah, maybe. But there's a kid up at the high school right now that could be a thousandaire by summer
Oh yeah.
if they just started doing this right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100%
Think of
right.
I bet Rick Paul would pay to have a drone in front of him while he's setting a new Eager Beaver run world record.
Does he still run it?
Oh yeah.
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 I was there a couple of years ago, but
He's almost out of clothes. Like there's just enough material to cover the midsection. Because Rick has a rule: every year he runs the Eager Beaver run, he cuts a half an inch off the shorts. So this might be the last kid-friendly Eager Beaver run.
Once he gets older, things are going to get a little swingy.
Yeah.
Can anybody beat that guy? Doesn't he win every year?
Does he?
I think he wins every year.
There's an idea for you, Joe.
Beat Rick Paul.
I would give you a good chunk of change if you could beat Rick Paul.
You better start training now.
I don't think I can.
Joe.
But maybe that's the thing for Founders Day this year.
Rick Paul.
Beat Rick Paul.
Ooh, that's fighting words.
I gotta believe. Well, one, Rick would get behind this.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Rick get behind this? And why don't we just start like a pool where like everybody, like I'll throw in $5 to see somebody beat Rick Paul.
That would be a good incentive for. I think Kaufman coaches cross country. Get those
Okay.
cross country kids out there.
There's got to be someone that can dethrone the guy.
I would think so too.
He's a machine.
I mean, he's not that much younger than us. Did he just not
Rick?
ever stop?
He's our age. He's 1 year younger.
1 year younger.
Just
than
1
you
year
guys,
younger?
Yeah, him and Dookie Saville used to run around together all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they still do.
Yeah.
Dookie. Dookie forever.
Yeah. I see Derek all the time out at the bank.
Oh, you still
Yeah.
call him
His
Dookie?
parents
Duke,
live
yeah.
next door, so
Duke's
he's
there.
over there visiting.
Him and I got talking about WWE the other day because it's so hot. It's red hot right now. Do your kids watch it?
No, they don't.
You're a terrible mom.
do yours?
He's 16. Well, I really don't know I'm sure I know what he watches, but
It's probably not that.
it's probably
Probably not. There's other things on the menu.
there's other things
Yeah.
on the menu. Yeah.
I can't believe your kids don't watch
but
WWE.
You know what though? I didn't. I grew up watching like motocross and not any kind of athletics. Now all we watch at our house is athletics, but sorry, not including WWE.
That's athletics.
It is athletics, so I had to say
To the nth degree.
I'm very sorry to say. I am shocked though. That is one thing my husband does not watch.
Joe, do you remember the frozen tundra nights?
I do.
We were talking about that.
Do you remember when we knew it was going to be a good night? When Val Venus came on and they showed the hot dog before and he did and we're like, it's going to be a good night. They showed the hot dog for Val Venus.
There will never be another attitude era of WWE.
No.
Watching professional wrestling in the mid to late 90s.
Early 2000. I mean, you could go into that. Yeah. It got a little goofy when like some of the rappers started coming in and things got a little dicey.
Yeah. Like in like the late 90s, anything went. Like anything went. And it was like we were experiencing a coming of age movie and we were living in it.
Yeah.
You know? Did you ever come up to the Frozen
I
Tundra
was gonna
nights?
say, I think a couple of us girls did come over for those, and it really was a frozen tundra.
For context, my whole bedroom was the upstairs attic in my parents' house.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, like it's like a
It's
true
like-
third level.
It's like
Yeah.
Home Alone, right?
It was like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to scoot your mic closer, Jake. And so what it was you'd go up there and it was like a full apartment loft up there, and we had a bunch of old couches up there and TV and
remember
mini
the steps
fridges
walking
and
An air conditioner in the window, no matter what time of year it was.
yeah, so on both sides. And so
that's right.
so we called it the Frozen Tundra because in the winter I would still leave the AC on And it was so blistering cold,
so
up
cold
there.
up there.
And we called it the frozen tundra, but if you had 20 people up there watching Monday Night Raw, it didn't matter. It was plenty warm. And, oh, man, we started going down memory lane. Because remember, Nick Summy would always order a large pepperoni pizza from Casey's, and he would never share it. He would never give anyone a bite. And if you would try to buy a piece, he'd be like, no, and he'd take it home with him.
Oh,
and so we used to mess with him. We used to mess with him a lot on the pizza nights.
Oh, Knickers.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
A good time.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is 9 days away, guys, and I'm freaking out.
Are you done shopping?
You're never done shopping.
I know. It just keeps adding on, right? Do you do shopping, Jake?
Carissa does the shopping. I do some of it. I shop for my wife, and I mean, she'll give me some like, hey, you gotta get a guy gift for this or that. But
yeah,
she enjoys it, and she does all the wrapping.
I like
and everything.
It too.
She's big into it. Her sisters and her go, day after Black Friday.
I usually see them Black Friday, and I did not see them this year.
Yeah, they did. Again, this year they're big time into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's her jam, kind of. She loves Christmas. So.
Do you shop, Joe?
So the TikTok shop goblin got a hold of me, and I can't get him off my back, man. He's just like he's dug in.
Add to cart.
It's too easy. Once you have an account set up, you're just like buy now, buy now, buy now. Yep. And I'm scared like all this crap is going to show up from like the Oriental Trading Company back in the day.
No,
you don't know what you're getting.
You're getting like Wish.com stuff. Like you're getting junk.
The Nito advent calendar that we got is definitely not Nito. He is going to get a 0-star review. It's not anything Nito brand inside.
I mean, I ordered a bucket of geodes. No, I'm serious. Like
Lynn's gonna come home and you're out in the driveway just whacking away at these geodes.
There's a guy on TikTok and he's selling these 3-gallon buckets of these little geodes, and he's like, "Look how much fun this is." It was $40. I think all in, it was less than $50 to get a 3-gallon bucket of these little geodes.
I mean, they are cool,
and I think the kids will have fun like breaking them open.
We did that in the driveway. Broke them. They're fun. They're neat.
Yeah. I hope they're actual geodes. I hope it's not just like
rocks.
Rocks. Oh, another dud.
Oh, it's a bucket of coal.
Gravel. It's a gravel making kit.
You've been bad for Christmas. You get a bucket of coal.
But like, there's been some stuff like that I've ordered even for my wife where I'm just like, God, I hope this is half as good as the video, because last year she had a Temu Christmas and it was bad.
Pretty rough.
It was really bad. Like this, there was this ad on Temu, and I just don't pay attention to girl stuff. And it was a picture of this woman, and she had on like, it was like a towel, but it was like a robe with like little pockets in it.
Okay.
Like a Snuggie type deal.
But it was like a towel.
And what made you think?
It was like a small robe. And
what made you think, oh yeah.
Don't you feel like that's like what you got in college, right? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Like you wore from like on your dorm floor. Like the girl puts it on, has like pockets, and you can carry everything like that.
Talking about it now, yes, but at the time, I looked at this Temu ad and I'm like, this is the most innovative thing at all. Genius. Like there's a pocket that Lynn could put like a
cookie
a brush in, and maybe like some makeup here, and it'd be like a carpenter's pouch where you can just grab the nail that you need. And I was like, this is so good. I'm gonna even order Aunt Liz one too, just a different color. And I was so excited, and I gave it to them both at the same time on Christmas morning. I'm like, oh, this is from me, okay?
So proud.
And they opened it up, and Lynn's like, I had this in like high school. What is? She's like, is that what this is? I'm like, oh, I thought they were like a brand new thing. She's like, no, this is like
a Snuggie.
It's like a one-piece little towel with like elastic up here. Is that what it is? And you pull it up, and that way you can like carry everything from the showers back to your room.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, because I'm like, well, who wants a big bulky towel these days?
Well, because if you do the little fold of the towel, it falls. So this is like elastic. You just like
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had like a little compartment in it where you could store like snacks or whatever you need while you're getting ready.
Mine didn't have pockets, but I know what you're talking about.
Terrible.
So she wears it every time she gets out of the shower.
She hasn't worn it once. She hasn't worn it once.
Sometimes me and Crystal will get gifts for each other. Other times it'll be like, hey,
we don't really do
let's just get each other cards, right?
Well, we don't even really do cards, to be honest. We'll get each other like a little something, but we usually just get what we want throughout the year. And this is like more for the kids. I feel like I don't know.
It certainly is more. It certainly is more for the kids. We want to have magic and all the stuff,
things,
right?
Yes.
But here's the thing: every year, I screw Lynn over every year. Like it's like a last minute thing, and then
jewelry. I mean, honestly,
you can't go wrong with jewelry.
I've kind of learned that. Like when we're doing presents, Krista seems to like the jewelry. That seems to be a move.
Yep.
I mean, one year, I'm not joking. Christmas Eve, I'm at the truck stop show.
You're at the truck stop on Christmas Eve?
80, bud.
What's their assortment of jewelry?
Get her some chrome lug nut cover.
That was a card year.
Black Hills
that was
Gold?
a card year.
Oh, okay. I was like, because I feel like they have a lot of black.
That was a
Hills
card
Gold
year, and I'm walking around. I'm like, would she want this dream catcher? Maybe
the jumbo.
Would she want this wolf howling at the moon?
The wolf, the black wolf T-shirt. Yeah.
Is this something that maybe I could say? Hey, this.
Remember that one time?
How can I spin it?
So I ended up getting this blank card basically and just kind of writing stuff in because I couldn't really find, anything. But
that's thoughtful. You took the time.
Yeah, I did take the time. But, because you go get a card and it's like, man, you read it and you're like, man, this is really kind of stupid. I mean, I feel like I
really
could say something, but this is really
cheesy.
cheesy, So while I'm there, I'm kind of like looking for a gift, like I might throw a little razzle dazzle in this year and actually, get her something. The truck stop. I'll tell you guys out there, if you can't find anything, do not go to ID Truck Stop.
You ain't gonna find it there either.
You ain't gonna find it there. I mean, maybe
I would stick to like
a serape or a poncho, maybe, or something like that. But
what do you want for Halloween? What do you want for Christmas, Punky? What's your top thing?
Okay, and I just kind of forgot about it. And this is kind of a silly one, but I really do want this. It's not jewelry. I want one of those stadium sacks. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Are we back on the Snuggie thing?
Well, I mean, it isn't too far from that. It's basically like a big sleeping bag, but like you wear it over top of your like winter coat and stuff. So when you're out sporting events, you're sitting outside, you're able to unzip the bottom to different lengths. So like if you're at a really cold track meet, you can wear that. If you're at a really cold football game, I know it's like kind of.
I
practical.
wear the same thing hunting. I have the same thing I wear hunting all the time.
It's not very exciting, but I really do want one of those.
Who makes it? Where do you get something like this?
StadiumSack.com.
Stadium Sack.
Although I did see one at Shields, a really cool Iowa one this weekend. But I don't need one that fancy. He's like, oh, get online real fast. Crap, that's not going to make it in time.
Yeah.
Although
the lavender one is the only one that's left. And it's a 3X.
I'm really simple, but you can't go wrong with jewelry. We're about to have our 15-year anniversary on New Year's.
So jewelry is still a thing, huh?
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong.
I think it's still a move, at least for my wife. She loves jewelry. Yeah. She loves jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm into dumb stuff. I like
funny stuff.
Yeah. I'm into like, what I'm into is like prepping type stuff. Like if somebody gives me like a solar phone charger, like a solar panel that I can plug a USB cord into.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some meals in the bag.
Oh yeah, some Patriot Supply. Oh. Yeah, some buckets of meals. Lynn just got me
a Doomsday type prep.
Well, it's better to have and not need than need and not have.
I never would. You're kind of surprising me here, Joe.
And I'm not like into it, but it's just like for me a peace of mind. Like I'm glad I have that. Like for my birthday, Lynn got me this really nice, like first aid kit you keep in your truck, but it doesn't look like a first responder. It's got a cool little satchel that it comes in or whatever.
A purse.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what?
Like Indiana Jones.
I don't know how to use any of the stuff in that first aid kit, but you know what? It sure would be nice to have just in case I need to suture somebody up. I've got the tools to do it,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
I don't know. I'm into that. I love that kind of stuff. And I don't know. The problem is, I truly, if I want something, I just kind of sneak out and buy it.
That's my issue, too.
I do the same thing, too. I took some stuff that I bought yesterday, and I gave it to Quinn, and I said, just have Dad put this in my stocking.
That's great.
Krista will do the same thing.
She was
sometimes.
like,
perfect. This is from Jake.
Yep.
She'll even buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you return stuff?
Will I return it? Well, I used to be really bad about that, but now I've been super good about returning things.
You'll actually go stand there,
Well,
get back sweat.
Yeah, it's
waiting
not
your turn.
I actually have 2 returns to do at home.
I feel like with Amazon, they make it. I mean, if you get something from Amazon and you don't like it,
those used to go to die in my trunk.
Yeah,
and then basically get taken to Goodwill. But now I send it to work with my husband. I get it all ready. He prints the label off, and he has like UPS right there.
We are bad at sending back Amazon. Well, yes, that's a good idea.
That is a business idea right there.
What will you do?
I package it all up and then send my husband the label. He just prints it off, and then at his work they have UPS pickup. So he puts it right there in the UPS pickup.
But you still have to like create a label. You have
you have to go through the process. They generate it for you.
Oh, like you got to like read things and click things and
the whole
submit things.
You do.
We have an Amazon truck at our house every day. I mean, every day.
And you can't just hand it back to him and be like, here, send me a check.
Yeah.
No. Right. No.
I don't think I have returned anything ever.
That's a business in itself, actually.
Ever. I have like trauma from returning things.
I mean, like, hey, these jeans don't fit. Oh, they might fit eventually.
So
yeah. I might just keep doing.
I might just keep these.
I might keep doing planks eventually.
These jeans are going to be perfect.
You know what? My kids will grow into these. We'll save them.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a returning story quick. My late amazing father-in-law, we were doing work at his house. God, this was probably 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we're out doing yard work, and he wanted to trim a branch. So he got out this old crusty, the saw blade on the stick.
Oh yeah.
And it had and so you got the saw blade, and then you got the little claw on the bottom that's hooked up to the rope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so he's got this thing like 30 feet in the air, right? And he's trying to take way too big of a bite out of the little claw at the bottom. That's for like a little twig. It's not for a branch. And he's yanking, and finally the whole thing busts. Like he busts, the rope breaks, and the little claw thing goes limp. So he brings it all back down, and I'm like, well, time to get another one. So he's like, well, let's go to Menards. So he takes this old thing that looked like it belonged to great-grandpa Henry, back in the day, and he throws it in the back of the truck, and we go into Menards. And I start beelining towards the tools. He goes, no, we're going to go over here. We went over to the customer service.
Oh, my God. He tried to return it.
And he walked up. He goes, I need to return this.
He got his way.
And I'm like, oh. And they're like, well, sir, do you have the receipt? No, but I bought it from here. And they're like inspecting this thing that looked like it. Well, it looked like it washed up somewhere.
I guarantee he got his way.
Oh, yeah. And they were like, well, sir, just go. And finally, they were like, go grab another one. Yep. And we got a brand new one. And then back to that branch we went. And eventually he gnawed through it and the branch fell. But yeah, but I won't return anything. I will not. I refuse to return anything. If I order something, which speaking of which, okay, I got one last story and then we got to go. Okay. I made a big snafu yesterday. I'm in the car with my daughter, and my wife and my son are in the store, and an ad for Trans-Siberian Orchestra comes on.
I want to go there so
dun, 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 dun.
Nobody in my family wants to go.
It's so haunting.
Okay.
Nobody in my family wants to go.
It is. And I'm like, Charlotte, your mother loves Trans-Siberian Orchestra. She loves it. And they were like, this weekend at the Vibrant Arena. And I was like, we got to. So I called Lynn. She was in the store. And I was like, hey, do we have any plans? It was for Friday night. I was like, do we have any plans Friday night? She's like, I don't know right now. And I'm like, well, we got plans now. I ordered front row tickets.
To Trans-Siberian.
And I pop on Ticketmaster. And wouldn't you know it, Section B, which is the square right in front of the stage, row 1, 4 tickets available.
Boom.
I was like, well, if you're going to go
big.
you got to go. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, should we do it? Should we not? Should we do it? Should we not? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, she's going to love it. They play electric guitars and they wail and they play all this Christmas music.
It's so cool.
So I ordered it and I was like, let's get some Trans-Siberian pumping before they get back out to the truck. So we're like, we got the truck and I mean, it's just like, I mean, Trans-Siberian's like playing, and Lynn hops in and I'm like, oh, we got some Trans-Siberian, and she goes, oh God, I can't stand this band. She's like, turn on some Mannheim Steamroller. And Charlotte looks at me, she's like, she doesn't like this band. And I'm like,
an honest mistake.
I'm like, Mannheim Steamroller.
Right.
I'm like,
it's similar.
They're more
right?
They're more the pipe organs and the bells and the chimes and the dings.
It's a little more traditional.
It's more traditional. It's big band, but it's more traditional.
Not as heavy.
No, whereas you don't have the three guitar guys up front with the bangs over their eyes. And
so who are you taking the Trans-Siberian?
Well, so thankfully, and I need to look. I need to look into this. I bought the insurance. It was like, it wasn't cheap per ticket, but I was like, something might come up.
Yeah, kids might get sick.
So anyway, I have front row tickets to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. If anybody wants 4 of them. Well, now I'm not giving them away. I need to recoup. I have come to terms with I'm going to lose my insurance money.
What kind of money have we spent on these Trans-Siberian?
I can't say. It's too embarrassing, and I'll get scalded when I get home if I say the number. But it was. You
don't want to hear it out loud, do you?
No, I don't. I really don't. But I will put it to you this way: if you are a Trans-Siberian Orchestra fanatic. I hold the most coveted tickets in the Quad Cities for this Friday night at the Vibrant Arena. So if you're watching this and you want to go, I'll give you a deal. Let me put it to you this way: they are for sale; they're not on sale, because I can just like click a button and say, well, I just changed my mind.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to miss out on, because I'm gonna lose the insurance dough anyway. They're not going to give me that back.
Wouldn't it be easier just to return them then?
I think I might. I'm gonna try to do that tonight.
Yeah.
But
I don't like the back and
right
forth
now,
stuff.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is looking at how many tickets they have sold, and they're like, "We got 4.
We got 4.
We got 4
right in the front row.
Money, they're the big ones up front.
Like the band manager is like, you look at those 4 people like they're the only ones there, and they're like, well, that's not going to be hard to do.
They're the only ones there, and then they're going to see slowly just.
Is it that bad? I thought they were really good.
It's actually a fun night. It's one of those things where, like, I think with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a little bit goes a long way.
That'd be an intense couple hours.
It's like sitting like this, staring up at the stage. Like how many guitar picks can you really catch? From Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So anyway,
they probably have groupies. I'm guessing there's a Trans-Siberian groupie out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Oh, for sure.
Well, we don't have much time, but I'm telling you, that'd be a great Christmas present for Carissa. She would love it. You guys could dress up. You could go out for steaks beforehand.
She would love it, I'm sure. But I don't know, Joe.
This would be a drop in the hat for you. No problem.
Joe,
no problem.
Like I've said before, you could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman wearing white gloves with the way you I mean, I almost seriously, I'm like, well, should I buy them?
I think you should.
You probably should.
I mean, should I buy them?
Would you have another couple you could go with?
Is this an investment?
It's
a Christmas gift.
No, Holly, did you guys talk about this beforehand?
Seriously, like I could see you and Carissa and another couple selfie.
Jenner?
I can see the post.
Jenner would. He would stab me in the eyes with a pen in the truck if I said, "Hey, bud, you know how you said you want to go to a concert?"
Yeah, these guys can wail.
Hey,
these guys can wail.
I go to a concert where they don't sing at all, and you won't really know any of the songs. By the way, it's like 2 hours long.
Let me see if I can let me give you a little teaser here. My heart sunk when Lynn was like, ew, put on Mannheim Steamroller when we had Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That's amazing. I bet Charlotte's face was priceless.
Oh, she probably loved
I
it.
bet she loves to give it to you, doesn't she?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She's a mini Katie. She looks just like Katie.
Listen to these guys wail. Hold on. Like it starts off nice and slow. Listen to him just listen to that axe.
I do like it.
Can you imagine just three guys? Dun, dun. I think I heard a whammy bar. Oh. But like I said, I mean, you can only eat so much of that cake. Like an hour of that cake, you have a stomach.
I want the great, like, their 3 best songs. Like, hey, guys, if I'm front row, say, hey, play your 3.
Maybe you come late.
Your absolute bangers. Players.
Late.
And I want to see the best of Mannheim Steamroller.
No, best of Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah.
I bet you if you tell them, hey, is this the Mannheim Steamroller concert?
Well, I'll give you till 8:00 tonight. You got 2 hours to find another.
You are a salesman. See, you're putting a time restraint on me and everything. Like,
well, here's the thing. There's lots of families who would love to do this. I'm giving you an opportunity.
A time limit does increase sales.
It does.
It really does.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Because once they're gone, they're gone. Yeah. So anyway.
Or this would be a great present for Doug Lenore.
Ooh.
It might be.
And they could take your kids.
Oh, then it's a night out. Uh-huh. That's an expensive night out before Lynn and I do anything. I can't give these tickets away. I can't. They're too coveted. They're rare as hen's teeth. I actually think it was a flaw in their system because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make. I should have never been able to get on Ticketmaster and buy those.
They usually don't sell these tickets.
I think it was a glitch.
Do you think that should have been the sign that Lynn probably wasn't going to like it if those 4 seats were still available?
I just think people don't fully appreciate what all that investment gives you, and the joy that it was. That someone's going to walk out of there. And you know what? They're going to get emotional. Someone is going to sit in those front row tickets. You're going to sit there and you're going to be laughing. You're going to be tee-heeing the whole time. And the first time that silver pick goes up in the air,
my arm are just going to stand up.
And when that guy hits that first note, you're going to get emotional. You're going to have to excuse yourself.
Jake's shirt's going to be off.
I'll take off my shirt just
around his head.
Head.
Yep.
I'll be like, play the night before Christmas.
Man, they got that ding 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 ding.
What's that song called?
Ding fries are done. Remember that there was that
ding fries are done.
Yeah. That's what I always think of because there was that meme like 20 years ago that came out.
I do not remember that.
Oh yeah, you'll have to look it up.
It's kind of a
Yeah, I mean it's not nice, and I don't like it.
Terrible.
But I just remember somebody showing it to me, and for whatever reason. So, guys, thank you. This has been. We got to do this again. I got to line up an interview for this week. I haven't lined one. Who should I interview? I got to interview someone from around town. Like, who do we do? Who do we bring in here? Like, there's so many people.
There is.
Like, that's been the hardest part for me is figuring out who we're going to bring in.
Right.
Because,
hard to choose.
Bob Van Dusen.
Bob Van Dusen? Should I bring in Bob?
Bob would be a good one.
He would be a good one. I thought of him the other day, actually. Is he the one that does? I think he might be the guy with the drone. Does he do some drone stuff?
Bob does do some drone stuff.
He does do some drone stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
And he does some woodworking stuff. And,
all right.
Yeah, he does. He's made a really cool, like, American flag thing.
Yeah.
Can somebody tag Bob Van Dusen in this video?
That would be good. I feel like he's got the inside pulse on the city too.
See, that's what I want. I want the inner workings.
Stuff. Yeah.
I want to hear all the hullabaloo going on. I want all the stuff that's behind the creaky floors.
Yep.
Behind the creaky floors and doors down at City Hall.
Yeah, Bob's a good one. He'd be a really good one.
All right.
That would be fun.
Hopefully somebody watching can tag Bob Van Dusen. Bob, reach out to me. Give me a call prepaid, please. Times are a little snug right now.
Yeah,
all right.
Got 4 expensive tickets to sell.
I'm down to 6 minutes left on my calling card on my phone, and I've got 4 smoking red hot, white hot. Like you have to squint to even look at the tickets because it'll burn your retina.
Yeah, when you pull up with tickets like that, they're gonna be like, "Hey, that's the guy. that
They're
we're talking
VIP,
about.
I'm sure. Like, I mean, you better show up
You
with
think
like
there's a chance for
gloves and fur.
backstage?
I don't think I'll get the front row tickets won't get you backstage, but I'm fairly certain. I saw in the fine print that the guy that leads the orchestra, I did hear that one of those 4 seats will get his stick at the end of the. That's what I saw. Now I could be wrong. But wouldn't it be neat to have a Trans-Siberian Orchestra conduct? Is it the conductor? Not the conductor.
I think it is a conductor.
It is a conductor.
Yeah.
Yep.
The conductor drives the train.
He's also the
He also
conductor of
runs
the
the
symphony,
orchestra,
though.
yeah.
Or the
Wouldn't it be
orchestra.
neat to have a conductor stick?
From Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
You know what? Didn't Randy Cole, wasn't he the conductor guy?
Oh,
He was.
Coley bastard.
He
would
was
love
for the
these
marching
things.
Coley
band.
bastard would
Remember?
love that. Yeah.
He would love that, and he'd be the guy to ask if that's a conductor.
I miss
and
that
what
guy.
you
I don't
call
talk
that
to him
stick.
enough.
He's a good guy.
Just
All right.
talked to him at my class reunion.
Well, you enjoy the wave of jewelry and your what's it called? The
Stadium
seat sack?
Stadium sack.
The stadium sack.
Yep.
Jake, you better head out to the truck stop. You don't have a lot of time.
I know. All the good stuff will be picked through by the time
It
I
will
get out
be.
there.
Dream catchers for everybody.
Maybe you just take some buffet to go. If it's Christmas Eve, take the Christmas Eve
Gifts are-
buffet to go.
Gift certificates for everybody at the I-80 truck stop. I mean,
Ooh, but they have a nice car wash there.
they have a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
It has a lot to offer, really. I mean, there's a museum out there.
The world's largest.
It's the I-80 truck stop is kind of an oyster of goodness out there.
You know what? I'm gonna stop on my way home.
You should.
I'm gonna get an Arby's.
Your mind's gonna be blown.
I'm going to get an Arby's. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching the Less Than Yesterday show with my friends, Holly Garvin Pearl, better known as Punky, and Jake Hoekstra, Hokey, my pal. And we're going to have these guys back, and we didn't even get into the Delve Deck. We'll get into that some other time. So if I don't talk to you guys before this, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
guys.
Christmas, Joe.
Enjoy the show,
Merry
Jake.
Christmas, Holly.
Merry Christmas, Jake.
Enjoy the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, my God.